Hello, everyone, and welcome to this webinar today, where we'll talk a little bit about how to launch in-app features faster with the new UI Kit 4. So if you've joined this webinar and if you follow Social Plus, you probably know that we believe that building social features should be a core part of any product strategy. We don't think that it's something that is nice to have, but something that is really essential to drive deeper engagement, boosting retention, but also to build long-term user loyalty. Today, digital products are expected to do more, and users want to connect, they want to engage, and they want to be part of a community, especially inside your app, and not on a third-party platform or a white label solution or on any of the big social media giants. But building this in your app, we know it's hard. You guys have limited time, stretched teams, and there are expectations from investors or leadership and even your users, right? So that's why we're excited to talk a little bit about UI Kit 4 today and how it's built to meet these needs by helping teams to launch community features faster with more flexibility and not sacrificing your user experience or the brand experience. I'm Amadeus. I'm the VP of Marketing here at Social Plus, and I'm joined by Best, who is our SDK Engineering Manager. Thank you, Best, for joining so late Bangkok time. And together, we're going to walk through some high-level changes between UI Kit 3 and 4. And we will, Best will also show you later a bit of UI Kit 4 in action. So very excited to see that. So I don't know the audience, whether you're a developer, product manager, maybe designer even. We hope that this will be helpful today to help you build community features faster. So let me share my screen. So our agenda today will be, so we will do a quick look back to UI Kit 3 and understand a little bit our original approach, where it started, and some shortfalls of that. And then we'll talk about UI Kit 4 and some of the key improvements. After that, we will talk, Best will talk a little bit about the integration lifecycle. We will show a live demo in the UI Kit and our new dynamic UI in action. And at the end, we'll leave some time for Q&A. So during any time during this webinar, feel free to leave your questions in the chat. In some cases, we might answer them right away, or we'll leave them to the end. So let's start with some context and look back at when we launched some of our when we launched the UI Kits first and UI Kit 3 in particular. So our goal with UI Kit 3 was really to give developers a reliable and intuitive way to build social features quickly, similar to the big social networks. At the time, it was a big step forward, and for teams that wanted to go above the SDK level or API integration, it provided a way for you to jumpstart with the product with these pre-built components. And it has worked well, but we also understand that every use case and every industry is different. We help teams ship faster, but it was quite rigid. So as we scale with more customers and we started to work with a broader range of industries, there were some friction points. So to go through them quickly, so first, about cloning and submodules. So to use UI Kit 3, developers had to clone entire repositories and manage submodules, and it was quite tedious and it added a lot of complexity. It was an all-in-one bundle where it was like everything by default. So if you just needed, newsfeed or groups, you still had to, pull the entire package. So it led to a bit of bloat and unnecessary code maybe, and longer load times. Then we also go into like manual customization, which is a big thing, making changes, having to edit source code. You want to change the color as an example, you need to edit it in the source code. So it worked, but it was kind of messy and a bit risky. Sometimes you had to manage forks, or there were maybe merge conflicts. So this brings us to the last point, that customers had to invest more time in maintenance than maybe necessary. So if we move to what's new in UIKit 4 and how we're looking to improve this. So we have really looked at feedback, and we're reimagining the experience really from the ground up of how we're working with customers and our UIKit. So it's not just a visual update making it look nicer, but really a shift in how we think about integration and customization, and more long-term support. And we have looked at the biggest pain points. So what's new in the new UIKit is, so instead of a single bundled repo for modular components, UIKit 4 is made up of an installable lightweight package where you can choose UI components from that package, like news feeds or stories or groups, meaning faster setup and potentially also faster load times. A big thing is built-in customization with something that we are calling dynamic UI. So this is something that we're just starting with. You might have seen it in our console, and this is something that we think in the future will also become a big change. So right now, it allows you to update theming of the UI kit with some colors directly through the console and push it live, which is something that we will demo later. No source code editing required to push these changes. And of course, our plan is to expand on this dynamic UI. We're looking to bring it further. We're looking to include more easy updates for really key components. That can be, in the future, fonts, icons, more localization options, and more. So later as well, feel free to drop in the chat also what you would like to see dynamic UI be able to customize. But our goal is really to, give more power to make easier changes by your own to the UI kit without risking, code level changes. UIKit 4, we also have more simple integration. So there's no need to, as before, clone or manage submodules, but install everything as a package. So it makes it a lot easier. And this also helps with maintenance. So when it comes time to update, it is much simpler. So you just need to upgrade a package version. And when you're done, this will not have any merge conflicts. So just on a really high level, what's different if we zoom out. So UIKit 3 has been quite rigid, social features as they come, bundled together, customization required code changes, updates were very manual, and UIKit 4 is much more modern, flexible, and customizable with quick updates and more painless upgrades. So this allows customers in different industries to use this. So whether it's wellness, fitness, or a retail app, to make more quick, easy on-brand changes to their application. So this is a quick high-level update of these changes. And now I'm going to leave it to Best, that will go through a live demo integration and also go through the integration lifecycle a bit. So Best, I leave it to you.
Thanks, Amadeus. So in a typical integration lifecycle, as you can see from the slide, so the longer the integration takes, the later your app gets to launch. And it typically cycles back again for any small changes that you need. So with UIKit 4, we aim to shorten the time for the integration, and for the small changes, we try to have it online so that you save the time to not having to cycle back. We'll get into a live coding demo just to show you how quick it is to introduce UIKit into your app. Okay, in this demo, I will give an example of an Android project. I will start with more or less an empty project so that you can see that it doesn't require much coding to achieve this. So here's normally a code of one page. So to integrate the UI kit, you can visit our documentation here for UI kit v4, starting from installation. For our Android package, it's being hosted with Jetpack. So if you already have some other libraries on your project that rely on these repositories, then there's no need to add this line. And all you need to do is copy the dependency to your project, which I actually have pre-added here. So you can choose the version that you need, and later when you need an upgrade, you can simply increment the version number. That's step one. Step two is to connect your UI kit with the API key that you would later get once you register and have access to the system console. To add the API key to the project, this is a single function where you have to specify the API key and the environment, and this is by region, depending on where your user base is. It could be EU, could be the US, for example. For this step, I'm gonna skip. So we do have the app files on the project already. Next is to do the actual authentication. There's a single function for authentication. You basically supply your user ID, and for security, you can enable the secure mode in our system. So you can exchange the token server to server, and then you can pass this token to UIKit. This would prevent any impersonation of one user with another user. For the sake of demo, the authentication on this file will use a simple one. So you supply the user ID, and then you will get the access to this system. Okay, and that's it for the setup. Next is you get into actual adding the UI to the project. I will remove the current hello world code, and we'll have some enable the predefined navigation that I have here. Okay, so what I will have here is one single page where it will demo a navigation to one of the UIKit page. I think it would be a typical use case if you already have your own application and you navigate to uh, the social feature from your app, from the existing page on your app. Um, so this is an example of the UI kit component. So in this step 4, adding the page or component, you can pick one. So this is one of the landing page of UI kit. So it doesn't require any parameter. But if you were to choose um, to add another component on your page, for example, if you have already your user profile page and you want to add, let's say, a user feed in your user profile, then you can add the user feed component, and it will require you to supply the user ID, for example. Okay, um, let's relaunch the app. Okay, now we have our homepage launch. So this homepage has one button that would navigate to the social feature. Okay, that's it. That's how you get UI kit on your existing apps. To demo the remote config. So for our existing customer who like to upgrade to the newer version that support this, there will be another line of code that you need to add. So this function basically consume the config from the system. You only have to add it once. So if you add it once and you launch with it, whatever config you apply on console will be consumed by your app whenever this function gets called. So in a typical use case, you probably want to put this function uh, maybe on your splash screen or somewhere that ensure that when your app launches, this function is being called. Okay, let's get to the console. So our console will have the dynamic UI menu, which will have the preview of the actual UI kit page. So I will try changing the colors. By the way, I tried this before the demo. That's why the color differences. Let's try applying another colors. Let's do pink. So in order to save the changes to the system, there's another layer to it. So you can apply to see the preview of the change. And to actually save it, you have to click publish. And normally this would take around 5 minutes to take effect. We have some caching mechanism on the system. But for the sake of the demo, we disable that. So we should be able to consume the colors right away. So this function to consume the value from the system, I put it on the event of the button click. So when I click this button, okay. Let's see what I forget. Go back to the console. Let's try refresh this. Okay. Okay, I think I needed to recheck whether the caching comes back into effect.
We can wait a few minutes and then we can see if the caching is still there.
Yeah. So in the meantime, Amadeus, do you have anything you'd like to talk about UI4 further?
No, so I think let's go back to this and see. But I would really like to hear after seeing this demo, and also this is the first webinar that we do on UIKit 4, and I see people in the audience from product, but also developers and even founders of companies. And if anyone has ideas of what they want to see in, for example, future webinars with integrations that you might be working on, it would be great if we could get some inspiration from you guys on different topics, different customizations, really what you want to see from us more when it comes to UIKit 4, because we're excited to do some more webinars on this. I can go to my screen just quickly. So if we look a bit, on customers that have adopted UIKit 4, and with I'm going to give two examples here. One of our customers, Ulta Beauty, they're currently they have integrated UIKit 4, and on the left you can see their UI from the app. And Ulta, they needed something fast. They needed something flexible. They needed it to be aligned with the brand. But of course, they didn't want to reinvent the wheel when it comes to the functionalities and how social really works. UIKit 4 really gave them like a modular and configurable foundation to build upon, and it has helped them to go live very quickly with really a non-brand experience. On the right, you can see another customer, which is Harley Davidson, that started to work with us much earlier at the time of our earlier UIKit, and they went the SDK route for integration. And this is just also to say that that is another possibility for integration, but we know that the availability of the UIKit that we have is in high demand, and it is something that we are working hard on improving and delivering. But why did Harley go the SDK route? Yes, they wanted something that was more complex. They had some use cases of map integration similar to Strava. They had a different way of looking at their global feed. So they needed customizations that it didn't support at that time. So if we go through a little bit, if we look at Ulta Beauty and what they did with UIKit 4, I don't know, Bess, do you want to go through the list here of?
Yeah. So if we take a look quickly at the list, right? So typography, the fonts, the colors, the control, the button input, everything is mostly cosmetics. So this is show how the UI kit actually offer like your social starter pack. So you don't actually need to reinvent the wheel or build any new feature. It's ready made with full social features. You can focus your integration time on the customization. And yeah, that shows here how that makes use of UI kit and getting to launch it very quickly.
Awesome. Best, can we go back to the demo or no? Did the
Let
cache thing?
let's try one more time. So seems like the caching is back. Oops. Let me share one more time. Okay. Okay. So I just try applying another color. So hopefully the cache is now invalidated. Let's see. Yep, that's it. So we just
Okay.
switch from pink to orange. Yeah, it's not a live
So
demo if this kind of thing doesn't happen.
no.
Yeah, but yeah, this is a real use case. So it takes around like 5 minutes to for the cache to get invalidated.
And of course, this is dynamic UI and being able to do these updates. Not only colors but other things in the future is really something that we're working hard on providing. And we see this very much as the future of integrating quicker and really do changes faster. I think we have some questions in the chat, so I'll read them out loud. Some might be for you, Best, and then some we can answer together, right? So see one from Brendan here. Hi, Brendan. He says, this looks great. The speed of setup is exciting. And I noticed in your documentation that React Native is in beta. Are there any limitations related to the status? And when do we expect React Native to be out of beta? I don't know, Best, if you have
Okay.
a direct answer to this, but
Yeah,
it's
I
also
can
something.
go.
Yeah.
So actually in beta, so we actually have a customer who started using it in beta. So so in beta doesn't mean we making feature release without testing. So it's basically uh, going to our normal testing process. But the reason that it's still in beta because of the feature parity. It will get out of beta once we think that it has substantial features for the customer to launch the communities on their own application.
So I think that answers the second question from Sonia as well. So same with Flutter. When will this be out of beta? So I guess it's the same answer to that one.
Yeah, that's true.
I see Brendan is typing here, so I will wait a few seconds to. Okay. So I think going back here to the presentation, I see that there are some people typing here. Really, if we can get some inspiration of use cases that you guys are working on, or really things that you want to see, with the UI kit, whether it's more developer focused or product focused or customization focused or just integration focused, we would be happy to do more webinars on UI Kit 4 and these topics. We will do more when we do further updates to dynamic UI and other things as well. So if there are any ideas on what you guys want to see that are using the product, we're happy to take that feedback and to plan for other webinars. I'll give okay, a question here from Claudia. How easy or fast is it going to be changing, for example, a layout instead of just a color? So here, Bess, we're talking a bit more about when it comes to, for example, integrating certain components or inserting things between components and other things.
I think in this case you will be building your own UIs. You can. So I think I can. Let me share the documentation a little bit.
Do you have a layout example in mind, Claudio, that you're thinking about, or?
So for the basics, so we have abstract what we call customization layer into uh, uh, let's say a configuration file. So the basics customization, you don't need to touch the code. So we have customization file where you can provide it, the keys according to the documentation, and then you get to see it customized. This is a customization by page, and each page has different customization that you can do, which you have to visit the documentation. It will specify what are the customization that can be done, and what config ID is needed. So this is, although it's abstracted, it's a little complicated, but this is what we plan to move to remote config, right? So you can have intuitive UI to make the customization, and this will get easier. In terms of changing the layout, right? So I think so one of the example I gave earlier could be the let's say you want to add some pre-made component to your existing page, right? That would be like rearranging a layout of your own build page. But I would say if you were to rearrange the layout of the components that are pre-made, that is not doable if you use UIKit for as a package. Although using as a package is easy, but we also offer UIKit for as open source. So if you think that it's easier for you to rearrange something on UIKit page, then you can also take the code from our open source repo and add that to your project. How we can achieve like this one line addition to the project, right? Because UIKit come pre-integrated with our own APIs and SDKs. So if you take a look at our open source project, so if you were to have to build some of the pages of your own, then you have the example of how to use the SDK already. Hope that answered your question.
I have one more question here for you, Best. So how difficult would it be to set up a feature that does real-time translation of chats? I would like to build a community that allows individuals with different mother tongues to communicate seamlessly with real-time translation. So this is more on, automatically, real-time translating chat messages in, for example, a chat.
I think it would be challenging for real time. So if you see most of the use cases that can be done easily, right? So for example, if you look at Facebook, they offer translation, right? But it's not quite real time. There got to be like an action to trigger it. You have to click translate, and it will do that translation. I think real time feed of translation. I think that's still challenging. Like for translation, we do have some feature we are working in the background, but it's more of like post translation, like for moderation purposes. Say if you hire let's say a community moderator from another country that doesn't maybe use the actual language being used on your app, right? Then then they can actually get the translated content that they can moderate on. But it's still gonna have some delay, not quite real time.
But we'll be happy to connect with you, Sonia, afterwards, and also connect you with our team to go through the use case that you have in mind and to see what's possible. So I think, right, to sum it up, I think UIKit 4 and a bit of what we have presented today is really our way of making it. We all that are here presenting, but also watching, we know the value of community features and the engagement and retention that it brings. And UIKit 4 is a new way to integrate this faster. And we're working hard on making it better and making more customizations available with dynamic UI and other ways. And we're going to do more webinars on how to integrate it, and more also tutorials and videos in the future. So our team is always available, and you can reach out to us. You can reach out to me personally, and you can hit up Best as well on LinkedIn if there's something that you want to see in the future. Any last closing words from you, Best, or all done for this?
Yeah, all done for me. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for all the questions. If there are any questions after this or further, you can connect with us or connect with our team, and then let us help you to make also more webinars in the future where we can support you in building social and community features in your apps. So that's it for today. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.